Okay, so my guest of honor is a passion leader that doesn't mind being a guiding light for others to follow. He currently serves as an educator and adjunct professor for leadership studies and sociology. He is the co-founder and CEO of Crown Scholars, founder and owner of Mike Motivates, small youth group leader at One Community Church, mentor, uncle, son, friend, and the list goes on and on. He received his bachelor's degree from UT Arlington in advertising and his master's from LSU in higher education. He's a smooth, well-dressed brother that shimmies with the best of them, and he's one of my favorite men at Kappa Alpha Psi. My guest of honor today is Michael Coleman. How you doing?
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I am good. Thank you. And you didn't tell me that last part was going to be in there, but thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Look, I always add what I think too. So the beginning and the end for sure.
Amen. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm blessed. So
That's good.
I'm great. As long as I'm breathing, I'm straight.
Amen. Especially nowadays, that's all we can really ask for. 'Cause
Absolutely.
it's crazy out here.
It has made me so much more grateful for life. I never took it for granted, but I really don't take it for granted now. So
Yeah, same.
yeah,
Oh, goodness.
that was gonna be my first question. How has quarantining been going for you?
Oh, so I'm a natural homebody. I don't like going out and stuff in general. So I've actually been great during quarantine. I go to the grocery store when I need to. I go see my folks or whatever. But other than that, like I can probably count on one hand the number of times I went out like socially. But that's not even going out. It's like going to a friend's house for a second or whatever. So I've been good. I think the rockiest part has been like my career and just like what that looks like going forward because of COVID. So that's probably like the only downside. But other than that, I've been chilling. It's been good.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm a homebody. I always say
Yeah,
I'm a introvert with extrovert tendencies. So
that like you gotta like learn how to be an extrovert, but you really not one. It's just okay. When I have to
yes,
be, I got you.
exactly.
So
When we ready, we can do it.
exactly.
You mentioned your career and everything. How has it really affected your career?
Yeah. So to be transparent about it, I was furloughed from my job back in March. So really, I mean, thank God for unemployment and whatnot. So I was still able to be financially stable throughout these last few months. But actually, part of why today was so stressful was I got a call from my previous job, and they're bringing me back on board
Mm,
as of next month. So that's a blessing for sure.
yeah,
Um, but I think the past like 3 months has been a time to really think about what I really want to do going forward because you see like anything could happen that has never happened before. And we have to see, okay, what's really important career wise,
yeah,
family wise, and like everything. So glad that I'm coming back, but now I'm also just thinking about what I can do going forward that I really want to do as far as um, careers, community involvement, all that kind of stuff. So
yeah. The break has
yeah,
definitely it allows you to like clear your mind and really see what could be possible.
it
So
does. It
I know
does.
I know that you have been doing a lot, and I've seen you have your shirts, you have everything going on. So
Let me
happy to
say,
see it.
y'all think that I'm a vendor. I am really not a shirt vendor out here. It's just, I mean, I see a saying that I think is cool, and like I just slap it on a shirt, and people buy it. So I mean, cool. But
So
it's
what's the
like really,
definition of a vendor?
okay, I guess it's that. But it's just like I'm not trying to like be, selling shirts every other week or
Yeah.
that consistently. But I mean, if y'all like it, I love it. I'll make sure that I get you what you want. But that is not my full-time gig at all.
Hey, that's okay. We all need our different streams of income. And,
Facts,
you know,
facts.
being whenever you have your own, you can decide when you want to do it. So
That's very true. That's
that's the
very true.
beautiful thing about it. Um,
Yeah.
so I met you in college and
You UTA.
UTA. So I want you to tell me a little bit about your journey through college. Like how was that for you?
Oh man. It was very interesting for me because coming into college, I was a sports player.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking I'd be playing basketball at someone's university, full ride type thing, whatever. I thought I was good. I guess I wasn't that good. So when I got to college, I had to kind of find my fit elsewhere outside of sports.
Mm-hmm.
So I got super, super involved with NAACP, Collection of Brothers, African Student Organization, ambassadors. So I think I met so many people in college because I was doing so much.
Yeah.
So my experience at UTA could have been bad because it is a commuter school. I think we're doing better at that now, I believe so. But you can really get lost if you don't get involved and don't really try to meet people. So
Yeah.
I think I think I had a different type of experience than some because I did get involved. I did kind of put myself out there. And I had a great experience there. I don't think I would trade it for anything. I met some great people, got some great experience. Of course, got my degree too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was dope for me for sure.
How did you come to the point of knowing that you wanted to study advertising?
Oh, great question. Um, I just knew that I love to be creative. I love to like make flyers or make t-shirts. And so I saw advertising as an outlet for that. And yeah, like it just like gave me the opportunity to kind of I didn't like to have a lot of structure, I guess. I like to just be able to flow with my ideas and just be creative. And so I got my degree in advertising. I used it for like 2 years after I
Mm-hmm.
graduated, and then I transitioned careers, which is fine. Like we all do that. But yeah, that's what kind of led me to want to get that degree in the first place.
You know what's funny? You're still using that degree though.
I
Even through
am.
higher ed, you're still using it. So
I am. Yes, yes. You don't really realize it, but like all those little soft skills, like those little nuances, you still do
yeah,
put that into practice.
you definitely do.
Yeah.
Um, how do you feel? I mean, not how do you feel? How did you know that you wanted to leave Texas?
Ah. Um. Hmm. I think it was a lot to do with there was a 6 month period where I was unemployed after I graduated
Mm-hmm.
because I left the advertising firm that I was with. It just wasn't working out in a lot of different ways. And so I just knew that I had been in Texas my entire life
Mm-hmm.
from preschool to college. I was in Texas, specifically the Dallas area. So it's like I have to get some type of exposure of something else. So that's why I applied to LSU for grad school, and I was in Louisiana for about 2.5 years, which was great because I just got to see life outside of my surrounding area. Got to meet different types of people, different culture. Like the culture there, y'all know, is dope. Mardi
Yeah.
Gras and everything. Like what? We at school out for Mardi Gras? Never. Um,
Holiday.
exactly, a big holiday too. But yeah, I just knew that I needed some type of change of scenery and just being able to expose myself to something different than what I'm used to, just to be able to be more well-rounded, if you will.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
dope. I think a lot of students need to know that they can leave.
You can leave, and that is A-OK. And I
Yes.
promise you, like even if you come back, because now I'm back in Dallas, right? But I left to go to LSU. I was in Memphis for like almost a year, so I got to be in different cities, like be exposed to different circumstances and situations, and now that's prepared me for what I do now back at home. But at least I got out there, I saw it, and I realized, hey, Dallas is where I want to be full time, but I can say
Hmm.
that confidently now because I've been elsewhere.
Home is always gonna be home.
Yeah, yeah, it's always gonna be
Always.
there. Always gonna be here.
Always gonna be there. Tell me a little bit about your work with the youth and why you're passionate about
Yeah. So I do a few different things with the youth. I volunteer at my church. I lead a small group there for our sixth grade boys. So basically meeting with them every week now. Well, since COVID hit, it's kind of less. But just kind of like talking about God, talking about life and just their plight as middle school boys, because the things that they're exposed to at this point in time at middle school,
Man.
I wasn't even beginning to think about those things until maybe late high school.
Yeah.
So
It's different now.
Yeah, it's so different now. So I do that. Of course, Crown Scholars is a nonprofit that I co-founded along with Ricky Townsend, and we also work with middle school boys. Love my boy Rick. He gets on my nerves sometimes, but I love him. Yeah, so we work with middle school boys there as well in Dallas ISD, giving them some life skills training, of course, academic preparation as well, and basically just trying to fill those gaps of things that they may miss at home that they are for sure missing in school, and just being able to try to prep them for their next steps past high school, whether that's community college, 4-year college, being an entrepreneur, getting a trade. Like, we want to make sure that we tell them about everything, so that we just say, well, hey, go to college, because college may not be for somebody, and that's okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, just like trying to fill those gaps, fill those voids. And honestly, I really try to recall like what was the defining moment where I really just said, hey, I want to work with the youth in the way that I do. And really, like, I didn't have a bad childhood. Like, I got things that I needed. Like, I was taken care of. Like, there were no major like traumatic issues. And I think it's just like knowing that I've had that experience and some people don't. It's my duty as a Black man who now looks, or they look like I looked 5-10 years ago, to give back to them in some kind of way, whether it's financially or being a mentor, giving some advice. We can always learn something new. And especially our Black boys, we have to get a hold of them sooner than later, because there's just so much they can be exposed to on social media and from their friends, even from their families, that may not be the most constructive. So I think that's kind of why I've just poured myself into that field too.
That's so beautiful. That makes me so happy.
Thank
It
you,
does.
thank you.
Representation is so important. Like,
it is.
It's very important, and I think especially with our Black boys, like, we need that structure early, because they are exposed to a lot of things that we have no idea about. Like,
Yeah, I mean, if I could tell y'all the stories of some things I've heard, I'm like, sir,
you don't even have to.
You are 11 years old.
Yep.
There's no
sounding
reason why.
30.
Right.
Crazy. What role would you say your spirituality plays in your life?
It's the biggest role in my life. I grew up Baptist, and now I go to a non-denominational church. But I'm a believer. I'm a child of God, and that guides all my decisions. All of like what I do is centered around just my faith. I know that doesn't work for everybody. Everyone doesn't have the same beliefs as me, which is completely fine. But I know that I never try to like force what I believe on anybody, but what I believe always comes out through what I do.
Right.
Which I think is the most important thing. So yeah, to cut it short, like, God is all in my life in every aspect. And I mean, just watching my mom and my dad like grow up through the church too, and like kind of bring me along. I've just kind of kept that going, and I've experienced God for myself as an adult, which I think is also important for people to kind of know. Like, a lot of us like had to be dragged to church as a child, go to Sunday school, blah, 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 which is okay, cool. But until you have that personal relationship and that experience, then, I mean, I understand why some people may not, I guess, believe the same way that I may, or whoever else may. But yeah, that's my personal journey through it all.
It's true. You don't know it really well until it happens to you, or until you experience it for yourself. So I definitely believe
Yeah.
you know when God is talking to you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
This is a random question because I had a conversation with my good friend and I was
Yeah.
like, how does God speak to you? And she was like, he whispers. And I was like, well, that's nice because he don't whisper to me.
Mm.
It'd be like
Mm.
abrupt and when I'm asleep. So I wonder, how does God speak to you? Does he speak to you calmly or is it like,
So I like it's crazy. I think in the past year or so, I've realized how I believe God speaks to me, and
mm-hmm,
that is through other people.
yeah,
It's not a voice in my head. It's not, oh, like something pops up in my phone. Like I'll be talking to somebody and it's legit something I prayed about, something I've been
wow,
thinking about, and they like tell me exactly what I need to hear. I'm like, so were
wow.
you like bugging my phone or something? Because I was for sure talking about that yesterday. But yeah, like I truly believe that God uses others to speak to me about whatever situations that I'm going through. So
That's awesome. Yeah, that's
yeah.
nice. I'm glad y'all get the calm, Jesus and God. I'm glad y'all. No, I'm just kidding.
So
I'm happy whichever way.
I mean, hey, like have as long as he's speaking, he
Absolutely.
he he may yell, but hey, at least he's still speaking to you.
Yeah, he wakes me up, but it's okay. Life of
That's
a creative. Life of a creative.
right.
Since we're talking about people speaking to you, you have your mic motivates. You have that
Yes.
going on. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so that started as like a weekly inspirational Instagram post that I would just put up.
Mm-hmm.
It was called what Mike's Monday Motivation. I forgot what I called it first.
Mm-hmm.
But it was really just like any thoughts that were on my brain, anything that I've been praying about, I just kind of put it out there for someone else to possibly gain something from it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that's kind of spiraled into this brand, if you want to call it that. I mean, I still do my motivational content, but now it's kind of like I also sell apparel. I've done like some consulting, whether that's for like programming for students or kind of some mentorship.
Yeah.
So it really just started as something that I did via social media that was kind of just like honestly my thoughts that I was putting out there that hopefully it would touch somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's become this sort of type of brand, which I mean, it's cool. I still I love doing it, but it was never done initially to like make it into a brand. It was just something that I was doing that I wanted to just be able to help somebody. And now it is something. So yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing how obedience helps you.
It does. Cause I was like, I mean, I'm just legit trying to put a little post out there. Hopefully it may get a like or two. Fine, great. But now it's like people look forward to getting their weekly inspiration and like really look look to it. And so now it's like
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm kind of charged to make sure that I am being obedient to what I started,
Yeah.
because like somebody's looking for it somewhere. So yeah.
Yep. There's representation again. Like you never know who's
Mhm.
paying attention. Like you have no idea. Like
Yeah.
who's like in tune with what you're doing and you're like their daily or weekly, reminder to do better and be a good
Yeah,
steward.
exactly.
So I'm so thankful that you're doing that because somebody needs to hear
Thank
it.
you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
So when it comes to living life, you always have a circle of friends or a tribe that you deal with. And
Hmm.
I wanted to ask you, like, what are your 5 non-negotiables when it comes to like the people that you keep in your circle?
Mm, that's good.
That's good.
Um, that's really good actually. So okay. So one, I would say transparency. I love friends who can be real with me, whether it hurts my feelings or not. Like, just be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Ambitious. I think I know that like I have things that I'm working on in my current circle of friends. Like we're all kind of doing things outside of our normal careers or normal everyday behavior. And I think that's important to just like have your own things going on too, just so, you know, we can be able to support you in your personal endeavors and whatnot. So ambitious. This is kind of a corny one. Funny. Because
No,
I
that's a
know,
good one.
I mean, yeah, like we for sure gotta laugh. We gotta laugh about something because especially
Something.
now, we gotta laugh.
Absolutely.
So not taking things so seriously all the time because I know that can be me. Like I can be super serious. And my friends like, bro, calm down. Like it's not that serious. So yeah, funny. Is it? No, I'm not gonna say that. That's kind of shallow.
It's okay. These are your non-negotiables.
I mean, I just, I this can go to like friendships and relationships, but family oriented.
That's not shallow at all.
Because I mean, yeah, it's like because
That's
okay,
important.
yeah, and I know like some people don't have that great of a relationship with their family or whatever, but I think just like the people that you hold dear to your heart,
Yeah,
when I see how you treat them, that can correlate to how you treat me, your other friends, what have you. And I mean, to me, family is super important.
absolutely.
Um, so yeah, that's something that I would prefer that, you know, my friends.
Yeah.
Someone just called my phone. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
um, and then my last thing, uh, with my friends. Let me think about my current friends. I guess just well, having drive is the same thing as having ambition, but just being like a good grounded person too and being humble.
Yeah,
I do not like arrogance at all. I don't
right,
care if you are CEO of Amazon and you made this, you made that. We all here.
right.
So yeah, like I can't do arrogance at all. So humbleness would be
It
my
can be
last one.
gone tomorrow though. That
I'm saying like the titles, the money, the cars, or whatever can be gone tomorrow. And then what? What you
whoever you are, the essence of you, and we
got?
hope that's
Right.
enough for you. It should be
Right.
enough for you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think a lot of people define success by a lot of material things, and
Mm-hmm.
they tend to think of like the most important things is like the things they post on the ground.
Right.
So how
Right.
do you define success and happiness?
Ah. My success, which this can be a good and bad way to look at it, but I put a lot of my success in the success of those who I've been able to impact.
Yeah,
So like my students, whether from like LSU to Memphis to like my middle school boys, like when I get a call and say, "Hey, like I made 100 on that test," or I got that internship, blah blah blah, like that fills me up much more than a paycheck could,
yeah,
than a title change could. Like just seeing them like grow and to see them happy about their growth, that makes my day every single time. So, and I mean, the bad side of that is like you wait on someone else's success for you to feel successful. But I
mm-hmm.
mean, truly, I guess that's maybe just a bad habit that I have. But like, I really want to see my kids be great. And so that's like what I lean my success on is just how well they're doing, how well they're growing, at whatever pace that is for them.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah,
See, we have that in common.
yeah,
Because for me, it's the light bulb moment when they actually realize that they can do it. That is
yes,
everything to me. Like the
yes.
fact that you actually believe it now, that's just like, oh,
Hmm.
makes me
Yeah.
happy. So that's not a bad to me. That's not a bad thing because it's like you're I mean you're being of service. So you know
Hmm.
that you're giving these deposits and planting these seeds, and you just want to see them sprout. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I think that's a great thing. We need more people like that. That's willing to
It,
like, spread it.
I mean, yes, and then to spread it, but then to spread it without expecting what's the word I'm looking for? Like something in return
Right.
from, because it's like I see, and I'm not gonna call nobody out, but I see I see people who are like mentors and whatnot, but then it's like you want to brag on your student whenever they're doing well, but it's
Right.
almost in a way to where it's like, if it weren't for me, they wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
And
That part.
like that's not cool,
Yeah.
because they've also done their part. You may have like pushed them, you planted that seed, blah blah blah, but like give also that student their credit for doing the work to get to where they are. And
I
yes,
give them
like
all the credit.
yeah, right, exactly.
They decided to do the work. I just planted the seed.
That's it. And although I won't get like public praise for whatever I did, I know that student knows how
Yeah.
I helped them, and that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. Like, and they will, I feel like once you connect with a student, this is why I love working with the youth. It's like once you connect and they really mess with you, it's like,
Oh, it's a wrap. It's a
it's
wrap for me.
forever. Like, I'm gonna know you forever at this point. Like, I'm gonna
Yes,
call
like
you when you have kids. Like,
they will call you, they will text you, they will FaceTime you unannounced, they will pop up at your apartment.
they will. Yes, they will.
Yeah,
So
it's dope
that
though. It's dope.
it is dope. And it's like you really, I don't have kids, but I feel like I have a million kids. So
Oh, right.
they gonna take care of you when you get old, Mike.
I'm praying so, because I feel old already, and I'm not even 30 yet.
How far are you off from 30?
You know, now I have like a year and a couple months,
Oh
I think.
yes. You're gonna love your 30s. I'm telling you. You're
I
gonna love the
mean,
30s.
I feel like it's just 30 and then 40, 50, 60, and it just
That's your perspective though. Because it can be
facts.
30, 40, 50, you know?
Facts. Facts. You right. You right. Okay. Change my mindset. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm telling you, but you're gonna love your 30s. I feel like a lot of people tend to look at it that way, but then it's like
Hmm.
you become more self-aware, you know who you are, like
Yeah.
more than you knew in your 20s. So you
Yeah.
kind of operate different.
I
So
feel that. I
and
feel
you
that.
reflect a lot. So you're gonna, I think it's gonna help you.
I receive that. I receive that. Thank you.
what what are your next goals? Like if I have to ask you like what's your next short-term goal, what would that be?
My next short-term goal. I think it would be for Crown Scholars, to be able to. I want to see that program like turn into something that can provide more opportunities for people to get involved with us.
Mm-hmm.
So whether that's offering internships or some type of like assistantship for students, actual paid positions for team members, just being able to not only pour into our boys, but pour into the community at large, and be able to offer some other opportunities that way. So that can be short term and long term, but based off how we've been performing over the past year, I believe by 2021 we could be able to make some more strides, in the community.
That's awesome. We need,
Yeah,
we definitely need that.
yeah, it's been crazy, honestly. Like this is Crown Scholars is a year and a half old now. And people legit ask us like, have y'all been around for like 5+ years? Because y'all
Mm,
really operate as, as if y'all do. I'm like, nah, we're still a baby over here.
we just got a good
So
team. Got a
yeah,
good team.
shout out to my team. Like y'all are amazing. I could not do 98% of the stuff that I do with Crown Scholars without them. So
Wow.
yeah, they're dope.
It's always good to have a good team. But
Yes.
teamwork makes the dream work. So
It does every time, every single
yes.
time.
What advice would you give someone who is trying to figure out their purpose or like find their purpose?
Um, well, so the spiritual side of me is gonna pop out first to say
Mm,
that to pray about it. Definitely pray over the things you love, things that you even like, and then things that you are good at,
mm,
and see where those parallels may align. Um, But, and I mean, the cliche of what would you do for free, to me, that's a real question.
Yeah.
Because like seriously, what would you do for free? Because I've heard people say like, I wouldn't do that. I would do nothing for free. Because da 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 da. So cool. Like
Okay.
now, right? It's like now I see like how your mind works and what's really important to you, which is a check, and that's fine.
Mhm.
But just find like whatever your true passion is. It's just like what can wake you up middle of the night and you start thinking about it and you
Yeah.
start writing stuff down, you start planning, or like whatever just like makes you happy when you're in it. I feel like that's truly what you need to be doing, or at
Mhm.
least like trying to figure out how you can incorporate that into your career or like your side hustle. Like do that in some capacity, because
Mhm.
that's what's going to fuel like your energy, is what your passion is. Because if you're just working for a check, like, yes, you can make 500K and that's great. But when you come home every day and you stressed out and you don't love what you do, your boss done piss you off and blah, blah, blah. It's like, what is that money really doing for you? Because then you may
Eating
be,
you up.
yeah, because then, okay, great. Like you can take vacations now, but you're trying to escape from your life and then you have to come right back to it.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, that'd be my advice there. I don't think I really got into my passion until maybe 2015, 2016.
Mhm.
So also take your time with it, because you don't have to have it figured out by the time you like go into college or even when you graduate college. Take your time with it, see whatever works for you. But once you find it, and you'll know when you do find it, go at it full speed ahead.
You'll definitely know.
Yeah. You'll know like for sure, like, okay, that's me. That's me right there. I got you.
Do you believe your purpose is a journey or a destination?
It's a journey. It's a journey for sure. Because I feel like your passion should never stop.
Right.
It like it can always evolve, it can always change, it can always look differently. So and then like we as people, like even me, like within my passion, I'm changing even in that journey as well. So definitely like it's not a stopping point. It's going to be something that's going to change, be ever changing. So just be able to adapt to all that as well when you're going through it.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
my last question for you is, if you knew then what you know now, would you change anything?
Uh I feel like if I say yes, that means I'm gonna like say I have regrets about where I am now. um, I would change one thing. I would have told my like middle school, high school self to work harder
Hmm.
during those earlier years, whether it was in sports or just kind of getting more involved at that age, um, outside of just my normal everyday. Because I think I would have been able to just have a better opportunity to like be exposed to different things.
Hmm.
Because when I say I was just a sports head, I was just doing sports, which which was cool, but I mean nothing came of it as I became an adult. So
Hmm.
really just, I mean, find something that I want to do then and work hard at it, would be what I tell myself. But anything else, like I could tell myself, hey, like invest in Amazon. Cool. Like you could do that too. But
Of course. We
do
all
something
wish you
for
would have did
yourself.
that. Jesus.
Cause they are booming.
Let me tell you something. COVID done helped their business get even richer. I'm like,
Oh my gosh. Their
sheesh.
their CEO is a trillionaire, which what do you even begin to do with that amount of money?
America needs to borrow some money from him so we can pay our bills.
A lot. A lot of money.
That's
A lot.
amazing. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I would not want those kind of problems though.
Facts. Yes. Like
I don't want
money
it.
is cool, but having that like level of money and like status and whatnot, that's gotta be stressful as
And it's
well. Like,
public, you know? Like public.
yes.
I want to be a silent millionaire. I don't even want I'm gonna be in New Balances and hoodies and New
Right.
Balances. Like ain't
because,
nobody gonna know.
because people are crazy and they will pull up on you for
They
real.
will. They will. They will. Well, Mike, this has been great. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. This is dope. And thank you for just like having this platform, having this podcast. Like I really honor and appreciate what you are doing with your mentorship and everything. So I'm just happy to be here. Thank you again.
Oh, thank you.